Welcome to 𝐒𝐻𝐿 Yoga. Today's sequence is opening the inner thighs and hamstrings. We're stimulating into both the bladder and kidney meridians and releasing any emotion of fear within the body. Coming into a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Open through the front of the body, relaxing the shoulders, the face. Lower or close your eyes. You're welcome to join me with Jala hand mudra. Bring in the little finger and thumb to meet. The other three fingers are straight. Jala means water. It balances all the fluids within the body and has a harmonizing effect within the mind. Just rest your hands in a comfortable position on the knees or lap. When you're ready, beginning to follow the natural breath at the nose. Without control, begin to notice the breath here. How the breath enters your body, how the breath leaves the body. Noticing any natural space between each breath. Not worrying if the mind wanders. This happens to everybody. Your yoga is a practice. Practice bringing the attention back. Beginning to allow the breath to deepen now. Taking the breath all the way down to the belly. Extend your exhale. Letting go of any tension in both body and mind. It's a comfortable rhythm, there's no strain, no force. Allowing the breath now to return back to a natural rhythm. And just taking this moment here to notice how you feel. Coming to the back of your mat, being in a kneeling position, you could have padding here. You're welcome to also place a cushion under the pelvis. We're going to take the knees wide to come into a wide knee child's pose. As you fold forward, you could use blocks with a bolster here to support the body. Or maybe just a bolster. Or even just the floor. It's a 3-minute hold, so do get comfortable. Drawing the hips, the pelvis back. The target is the inner thighs. Relax your shoulders, your neck. As we find our shape, we bring it to stillness, using that breath as the anchor. Breathing with the inhale into the back of the heart, feeling the space here. Extending the exhale to melt a little more into this pose. Stimulating into our kidney meridian, which begins under your little toe, loops at the ankle, works through the inner legs to the base of the spine. The kidney meridian actually penetrates both the kidney and bladder, working through the front of the body to your collarbone, making contact with both your throat and your tongue. So this is our focus as we hold this shape. Allow yourself to get present to the physical sensations as we hold here. You're welcome to stay here in the wide-kneed child for a further 3 minutes. Or we can take a frog position, keeping the knees wide and taking the feet wide as well. The feet do not need to be in line with the knees, just moving the feet away from the middle of your pelvis. Make sure the knees are comfortable. Going a little deeper into the inner thighs, stimulating into the kidney meridian. Keep drawing the pelvis back, create space at the front of the body. Bring it back to the breath. Bring in that sense of surrender with each exhale. Breathe in through any uncomfortableness. Being fluid if you need to, changing your shape depending on the messages the body is offering. Mindfully and slowly pushing into the hands now. Bringing the knees gently back together, coming into our child's pose. Remember your options. You can use the hands to support the head. Arms can be out in front, or you can take the hands towards the feet. Soften the shoulders, the neck. Bring some softness to the belly, the back of the heart. So really bring in that sense of release for our rebound. Keep allowing the bones of the body to become heavier. Notice the subtle sensations of how the body melts a little more into the child. Using this space to release all effort now. Gently rolling out of the child's pose now, you can get rid of the padding under the knees and popping yourself onto all fours with the hands relatively under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Begin to circle the pelvis, head and shoulders, being as fluid as you can within the spine. Think about making the body a figure of 8, completing any movement that feels good for your body. Changing directions when you're ready. This will help to increase the fluid between your vertebrae within the spine. Coming back to neutral, grounding the hands, curving the spine now as you exhale. Just taking a couple of rounds of cat pose here. Releasing on the inhale. Imagine you're trying to kiss the belly on the exhale. Rooting down through the hands, tucking the toes on the next inhale to come into a downward dog with bent legs on the exhale. Come high on the toes. Open the front of the body by drawing the hips back. You can walk the feet here to stretch through the backs of the legs into the hamstrings. Turning the feet towards your left and dropping the right hip down towards the right ankle. Coming into a twisting downward dog just for one round both sides. As you come back to neutral, keep drawing the hips back. Releasing here with the exhale. Stepping forward when you're ready with the left foot, dropping the right knee, you could use padding here, and taking the right foot to the very edge of the mat. We have a couple of options. The first option is to place the right hand on a block under the shoulder and the left hand on the inside of the left knee, rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot to come into a winged dragon. You also have the option of dropping down onto the right elbow supported by the block, or you could just use the floor here for both the hands or the elbow. You also have the option of bringing both hands or elbows down to the floor and dropping the head out in front. Make sure there's no pain in that left knee. The ankle is comfortable. And playing with your edge here as you bring your weight onto the side of that left foot. The target is the inside of the left thigh, around your hip socket, stimulating into the kidney meridian as we hold here. Our yin sequence that targets both the kidney and bladder meridians is responsible for bringing balance to our vital energy. Both the kidney and bladder play a major role in building our immune system. They balance all the other organ systems within the body and our overall emotional health. So as we stay for stillness now, Notice how the pose begins to feel physically and any thoughts that may pass through the mind. Mindfully and slowly lifting out of the pose, moving the blocks to the side of the mat if you're using props, grounding your hands and stepping back into your downward dog, rooting through the hands as you open the front of the body, drawing those hips back. Legs can be bent or straight. With each exhale, just allowing yourself to soften a little more into the pose. Gently stepping forward with the right foot now, bending that left knee. The left knee can be supported with padding. Taking the right foot to the edge of the mat and coming into your winged dragon position on this side. Remember, you have the options of using a block under that left hand for the hand or elbow. You could use the floor, or bring both hands in front and drop the head down towards the floor. Dropping into your shape, making sure the knee, the ankle is comfortable. Soften the shoulders. Using that breath to allow the mindfulness to come back to the practice. As you begin to release all effort, staying receptive to the subtleness of the body, how the weight of your pelvis drops a little deeper as you begin to let go. Remember, we can be fluid within our poses, depending on the messages the body is offering. At any point you can change your shape. This may mean going deeper as the body begins to open, or maybe pulling back a little as you work this side. Mindfully and slowly just lifting the body now, planting the hands to step back into your downward dog when you're ready. Finding that line of energy from the hands to the sit bones, releasing here with the exhale. Stepping forward now to the front of your mat, having the feet relatively under your hips and bending your knees to come into a dangling position. You could use blocks here to support your hands in a halfway position, particularly if you have high blood pressure. Using the props in any way to support you in this 3-minute hold. Do allow the legs to bend. If possible, bring your chest to your thighs. This will get into the lower back and into the deeper vertebrae and sacrum here. We're stimulating the bladder meridian that runs through the back of the legs, through the middle of your hamstrings, and through the middle of your spine, the whole of the back of the body. Relaxing the shoulders, the head. Any position for your hands and arms that suit you. Finding your stillness, using the breath as that anchor. Maybe bringing the breath into the back of the heart, feeling the space here. With each extended exhale, melting a little more into our forward fold and staying receptive to how the body responds as you begin to let go. Imbalances within both our bladder and kidney meridians can include any fear-based emotions. This can include jealousy, suspicion. When balanced, we can feel calm and peaceful. Bringing the hands to the floor, taking the feet wider and slightly to an angle outwards to drop the pelvis into a squat position. If your heels do not touch the floor, you could use a rolled up blanket or your mat here for support. You could also place a block under your pelvis if this feels more stable for you. It's a 3-minute hold. We can bring our elbows into the inside of the knees, palms together, and use the resistance of the hands to help us feel supported within the pose. Find your shape here, dropping into the pelvic bowl, using your breath to hold this shape as we bring it back to stillness. Stimulating again into the kidney meridians that run through the inner legs all the way to the base of your spine, through the front of the body. As you reach your edge here, begin to soften by using the breath. Trust the process as the body begins to take its shape. And the breath will really do the work for you as you begin to let go. Mindfully and slowly dropping the hands down, bringing the feet again in line with your hips, and taking the body back into our dangling position. Remember to use your blocks to support the body where needed. Do get comfortable. Relaxing the chest to the thighs if possible. Notice how it feels in the lower back. Relax your shoulders, your head, bringing it back to stillness and back to the breath here. Mindfully and slowly stepping back with your right foot, dropping the right knee, grabbing hold of your bolster or cushions and placing these under the body in line with the pelvis. Begin to walk your left foot forward to stimulate deeper into the left hamstrings. If you reach your edge here, you could build more height, placing your blocks under the bolster, or dropping the pelvis here onto the bolster. You can use blocks in front to support the body. If you wish to go deeper, drop in the front of the body towards the floor. And if your hamstrings are really open, taking away all the support. It's a 4-minute hold. Do get comfortable. As you reach your edge here, try and pull back a little so we're able to hold the shape for the full time. Even if you're able to come into the full splits, you may be more comfortable having slight support under the pelvis. This will allow the hamstrings, the muscles themselves to soften, so we're able to target the connective tissue. Relax your feet, the shoulders. Try not to hold the body within the pose. As part of our physical habits, we can have a tendency of holding the body within our postures. This can allow us to feel safe. Try and let go of any holding on here, so the body can really begin to melt into its own shape. Staying receptive to the physical sensations as you begin to relax. How you feel emotionally, working deeper into the hamstrings, into our bladder meridian. And noticing any thoughts that pop into the mind as we hold here. Mindfully and slowly just lifting the body now, Bending the left leg to allow you to move your props from under the body. Planting the hands to step back into your downward dog when you're ready. Releasing here with the exhale. Stepping forward with your right foot when you're ready, bending the left knee. Again, grab your bolster, your blocks, anything you need for under the body. Gently take the right foot forward. Remember, you can stay here. Or coming down into the split position. Any props you need in front of the body, or into the full splits if you prefer. Relaxing the shoulders, the head, softening into the shape, finding your breath here, and just beginning to release all effort with each exhale. Noticing the subtle sensations with the body as you begin to let go. But also noticing if you're holding on because the pose is uncomfortable, seeing if you can change the shape so you're able to relax a little before going deeper. It's a constant listening to the body and allowing yourself to respond as we hold the pose. Mindfully and slowly now lifting the body out of the pose. Just bend your right knee for a moment so you're able to remove the bolsters from under the body. Before rooting down the hands to step back into our final downward dog here, opening through the front of the body, the whole of the spine. You can stay in a neutral downward dog or turn the feet to the left to come into a twisting downward dog for a moment. As you come back to neutral, releasing here with the exhale. Gently bending the knees now to come down into our child's pose. You could use a cushion under your pelvis. The hands can be used as bricks. You can relax the arms in front or take those hands to the feet behind. Really soften your shoulders here, the spine, the lower back. Just bringing a sense of no effort to this rebound. The belly is soft. Observing the gentle breath at the back of the heart. Melt a little more with each exhale. I will leave you here to stay in the child's pose for as long as you need to. Do take a Shavasana, your final relaxation. I do hope you've enjoyed the class with me today. Namaste.